here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk Week 9 preview. You see some of the games over here to the left. Thursday, 8 o'clock. We have Baltimore, Houston. I like this. I like this more and more, man. Every time I stare at this, I enjoy it. What's up, 9? So we're gonna talk Week 9. We're gonna preview what we got going on for the week, the different tournaments, everything, the setup. With regards to the games, how many games we have, in what slots. We're sticking with the full-on, the 16-game set. I didn't add anything extra, which it's possible I will. I like to have like a 16-game set, you know? Like that should be like the basis of the week, because the 16 games, like if teams start to have too many games, I think it like does affect their activity. Like if a team just has more games, you know, in a tournament, they play more often. I think that like positively affects their activity, but I don't think we want to do that. And then Mondays and Fridays are going to continue the way they are currently, right? 5:20 p.m. is going to be the start of games. And they're going to run back to back without me being live up until an 8 a.m. Or 8 p.m. start for the final game. And we're going to have this week, it's going to be a 5-game set on Friday and 5-game set on Monday. Okay. And instead of having like the 7, I took away 2 from each and gave us the little 4 set that we're gonna have for Sunday. I was showing you guys over here talking about the setup. Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Baltimore, Houston. Following that, Friday, 5:20 is gonna be the kickoff. All right, same thing as Monday. I'll be there to say what's up. Tennessee, Denver is gonna start at about 5:20, so I'll be on a little bit prior to that. We'll have games going on until about 9:30. Everything should finish up. And Tennessee, Denver, that's going to be a live game. And then every hour and 20 is going to be the live game start. So Tennessee, Denver, Carolina, Arizona, and Chicago, Tampa Bay, they're going to be your 3 live games. Washington, Atlanta, and Vegas, Indianapolis, they are going to be your sim games, your sim set for the Friday setup, okay? Anyway, Thursday night, again, nice little setup. If you guys saw earlier, the Schultz, I had his Super Unlimited for quite a while. Don't really use it. Rebirthed it. Had a nice little amp pop. You know, it's always the tight ends, isn't it? So this is what I'm rocking with on Thursday night. Again, 8 p.m. Eastern is going to be the kickoff for this one. I'm going the Stroud and Nico stack. I don't know that Nico would be that great because we do have Schultz as an insert for the event, and also Jaden Higgins. So if you do decide to go one of the sides, it might be the better way to go. Collins asked, Marks over Montgomery. I don't have a good Montgomery. My best Montgomery is an Epic. I've never collected his stuff. All right, Friday. We're going to be starting off 5:20 p.m. on a Friday with Tennessee and Denver. We're going to be ending our third live game of the day is going to be Chicago and Tampa Bay. All right. Friday is going to have a 60K max per slot. Capped contest, so the usual stuff that you guys are used to. 60K, I'm guessing somewhere in the range of green to blue. We will also have the unlimited, the usual, and we will have a blackout game. Here's what I'm going to be rocking with, okay? And reminder, Sam, click on any of the slots you're looking at, the ones you're trying to fill. Go look at your players. If there's no sim next to their matchup, it is a live game. So Jane Daniels, we see, is a sim game. I'm going to be going live Baker Mayfield because I typically think that players have more upside in live contests, just depending if the matchup's okay. Chicago's defense, not that great. Baker's a pretty fun one. I'm going to get him in while I can. I'm going to go Chris Godwin, even though it's usually a lot of like Kate Otten for him, but we'll see. Going to go Rome on the bring back versus Baker. And then Tet. Not like a ton of great options as far as wide receivers, I thought, for the slate on Friday. So I'm going to go Trey and Brock, even though Brock's been kind of weird lately. He's sim. Okay, so much better time to use Brock is during a sim. If it was live, honestly, I think I would maybe bail if I had a better option. Tyler Warren, I really want to get him in and play him. It's tough though. JT, got to get him in when you can, whether it's live or sim. And especially sim, I think JT could end up just kind of ruining the game for everyone else. So same thing with Bijan. Going to roll only 2 of the running backs, both going to be sims. Sim. And Denver Broncos D, one of the fun Ds. Again, with Baker, I'm only going to rock Chris Godwin and Rome on the bring back. It's a live game. Really could be a DeAndre Swift day. We'll see. But Friday, that's what I'm going to be going with. Just, again, I just want to give you guys a little heads up on like how I look at it with regards to like a live game versus a sim game. You know who's better in sim, who's better in live. You know the guys who are better in both. Bijan, JT, if they're in, you play them. Achan, play them. You know, they can be good at both. Genty, yeah, Genty's not great. But in sim, Genty could be really good. Oh, and Genty, my best Genty is a legendary, which I could use. But again, filled out already. Yeah, I would if Brock wasn't sim, I would use Genty over Brock. The fact that it's sim, I think Brock could end up dominating. And they play Indy. Indy's kind of good all around, especially with Alec Pierce being good. Alec Pierce would have been another fun play. Let's see the Saturday slate. We have LA versus Green Bay. You can sort of tell by this anyway. The typical running back set. Josh Jacobs has been really good in Sims recently. Almost like scary good, forgetting how good he's been. Been using a lot of like the top tier running backs over him, and he's been really unstoppable. Because of that, the receiving set for Green Bay really hasn't been all that great, but somebody should score points. Green Bay D is a fun one. We do have upcoming Sunday, we're going to have a whiteout contest starting up at 1 p.m. So it's going to be a mini Survivor, okay? And what does mini mean? It's just going to be a 4-game set. 165K capped per slot, okay? And here are the games in this weekend's Survivor, okay? KC at Philly. We have San Fran at Buffalo, Cincy, Dallas, and Detroit, and the Jets. So I think you're probably going to see a lot of Detroit just because it's Jets. But again, Jets have been really good as well. Winner overall is going to get a custom DST whiteout. And I'm thinking like bullpen car or something fun like that. We shall see. So again, you can pick, and here's going to be the rule. And going forward, you cannot pick one of the DSTs that are in the event. It has to be a DST that is outside the event just because it makes the background stuff a little bit tougher for me. So as long as you choose one of the other, 29 teams, we should be good to go. All right, so sub only, yes, Sunday, it's going to be sim, 165K cap per slot, and again, whiteout going to the top slot. Top spot. Games are going to start at 1 p.m. Eastern promptly on Monday, 5:20 p.m. So I'll be up again to say what's up, kind of lead you guys into it a little bit, talk about what we got going on. And then 5:20, 6:40, and 8 o'clock are going to be the live games. All right, back to back to back. And about 40 minutes into each, we're going to have a sim game start. Pittsburgh, Cleveland is sim. So is Miami, Seattle. Remember, you can check in on what games are sim, what games are live, and all you guys got to do is click in, go look at the players at the bottom of the card picker, and you'll see on the scheduling. All right, Monday's going to be a 1 million cap game. That means 250K is going to be your max, 50K is going to be your min, and you can set your lineup up however you want. And here's where we are on Monday for Unlimited. I am rocking Sammy D. Sammy D is going to be, Sammy D is AMP, and I believe he's sim. Now, I wouldn't typically do that. However, do not forget, in Sims, when a team loses a running back, it gets wild for the QB. So, gotta hope that Miami can put up some points. I know it's gonna be weird. They lost a lot of guys. Achan, hopefully it doesn't go full Seattle side and Achan ends up cooked. But if we can get a Miami lead, that could be a wild one between Darnold throwing to JSN, and who is the wait? Do we have a? What was I thinking of? I was thinking of Houston the other day. Anyway, we're gonna go Darnold JSN. Hopefully, they end up doing pretty well, and we'll see how it ends up going, man. JJ. Let's see, JJ and Olave. So if we look at just wide receivers, Jefferson is a live game where I would say he's better, although his activity is getting up there. And Olave, he is a live game. I would say he's probably better in sim, but he's still a pretty good live player, or at least he has been ever since Shuck has taken over. Again, H-Han, he's kind of a put him in anytime, doesn't really matter. Gadsden, dude, he's been so good live. I think he's one of the most slept on, best live tight ends that there are at the moment. Even guys like Hunter Henry were out there for this go round. Hunter Henry's kind of come back to earth a bit. I think Gadsden's been so good, but it probably is Keenan Allen the best, and then Ladd is just like, I don't know. He's been so hit or miss live, so he's a tough one to trust there. But if you need a tight end, I would say Gadsden, and even in blackout, probably a good spot to go. Scatterboot, really good in live. ETN, he's been solidly decent in both, and could be a big ETN game as well. So Olave, ETN, one of the two should go off. Should be a pretty decent and high-scoring setup. All right. So that is a look at the week. Again, games are going to be starting at the same times that we've done. I'm not sure if it's going to be like forever or what's happening, but for a good bit, we are going to be doing it this way. All right, let me rip some packs here. I do have some stuff. I haven't even been opening. I did a bunch of I burned about 6K trophies earlier, something like that. Just rebirthing players I had like high level unlimiteds of and such. So what do we got? Only one of these getting here. I don't think I've hit any of the whoops. I don't think I've hit any equipment yet. What do we want to do here? We'll do this, and this. What do we got? 4 of these bad boys. Let's hit 1. Gino, we'll take some XP. Not bad. It took me 1 try to get Kyler, dude. Your luck with Kyler, it's crazy. I gotta say, dude, I don't know if I could have burnt. Like, what was he? He was like level 70. That's so much XP. It is so cool though. And if he's not on their team next year, I guess you don't have to worry about it too much, right? JSN, we'll take that. Not bad XP there. George Kittle. And I was like, wait, who? Moondog. All right, we're saving it for the better packs. Not bad there. Moondog with the fun new style image. Yeah, but it was 50%. Yes, I actually forgot. Once you told me it was 50% prior to rebirth, it actually made so much more sense. True, craze. All right, come on. No, not what we wanted, boys. You know what we call it? We call this XP. We go for that, and then we like, that's these 2. Yep. Did it for like 6. Yep, that's cool. We call that XP. Very nice. Jordan has it. You know, I still have not finished his last one, so. TD. Whoops. Should have held 60. I rolled too quick. There you go. Perfect. Should be about 70. Yeah. Anyone else know numbers like that? All right. What do we got here? Only 1. Let's get closer. See if we get anything fun. 2 amps in a day? Could you imagine? 2 amps in a day? Not gonna be. Imagine. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Cam Ward, we'll take that. That's a fun one. Very nice. Might be XP, but very nice either way. We will take that. All right, so we talked about week 9, everything that's coming up. And again, I said I was probably gonna attempt to fill out some lineups, but again, man, I haven't really done it. I didn't really do it last week. I just kind of auto-filled a bit, other than the unlims and whatnot. And again, man, there's just been so much to kind of get done, and just a couple things. So let's talk FTS and state of FTS overall, everything that we kind of have going on, and where things are currently, and where I kind of see them maybe going, and kind of what's just been happening over the past, I don't know, I'm gonna say like 6 months plus, and all that. I want to reiterate first and foremost, you know, I appreciate all you guys, everyone being here, all the support, everything. You know, for the most part, not a ton has changed over the past year, and like, I think the worst part about that is that I've tried so much harder for things to actually change. You know what I mean? Like, it's been It's been, crazy on the effort side of like reaching out to people, trying to partner, trying to do different things. And just like, it is so hard going out, talking to people, whatever. And it's just like, you'll hear back from people and then it's just nothing. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's the amount of people like I've had like get back to me interested or whatever, and then just straight ghosting. It's just, it's tough, man. It's tough to take. And so, I think we started this kind of in September to start looking at like, hey, we got to grow, man. We had, the entire idea was, John was supposed to be on the RTG thing. We were supposed to have it for last September. Clearly that didn't happen. Then we were supposed to have it for December. Clearly that didn't happen. And I don't know, man, other than like some snapshots I've seen of like it on the move and him just saying, oh, it'll get done. There just hasn't been much hope for that. The whole point was that, that was supposed to be the big help with like approaching people, people who have followings, people who stream or whatever, whether they play Madden or just are into fantasy or whatever, and just go, hey, here's this thing we're going to have. You guys can restart with your community, learn the game, have fun with the game, make some money with us along the way, and hopefully grow. Well, that clearly did not happen. We again, tried reaching out to a million people, just not much response anywhere. And so that's been kind of a tough one over the past, 6 months for me, especially like with the amount that I work on things, like how good now the site looks. And then, the super positive over the past 6 months was the complete revamp of the onboarding and all the pop-ups and the amazing packs and everything you guys get. Like I know we say this all the time, right? But I don't think the game has ever looked better, has ever played better, has ever been better for, somebody starting off and getting into the game and learning the game, right? We're, if you showed up 3 years ago, 2 years ago, like God, like if you weren't in Discord, you didn't get anything, right? Like, or it was very difficult for you to understand. And because of that, a lot of people didn't really stick with it, at the time, where people got in, eventually got bored and kind of got out. And I think we've done a ton to remedy that over the past like 6 months. And I'm not going to say it's too little too late, but I just think the idea that we're going to like organically grow is just like at this point, I don't see it happening. So what do they say? Repeating yourself over and over, insanity. I think it's beginning to like really like just take a toll on me, like mentally. Just it's been really, really difficult. And again, I don't want it to get sappy. I don't want it to get to the point where it's like, to me, it's not going away. It's just like that things have to change. Now, what you guys have seen over the past like 6 months and everything from the onboarding, right, to the new schedule of games and, the ability to run sims and put so much more into sims and try to figure out things that are fun, that may not be like the same stuff that we do every single week, but things that feel a little bit different. Like I can't do the same thing over and over and over and just have the same, one capped, one unlimited, one black, whatever. I need the fun, different things. I need the events, all the stuff. Like to me, that's where it's a lot of fun. But at the same time, not like the fact that we're nowhere closer to, RTG, which everybody wants. And it's just like, it's insane. It's maddening. And the fact that like, we're not growing and we are, I mean, God, all I want is to be able to like go on draft with you guys, head to head, you guys, like I pick Hurts, you can't have, like, this is stuff we should be able to do. We should have the head to head feature, all the stuff, right? It's to the point now where, and in the past few months, especially, like it's been scary. Honestly, like I know a lot of you guys sort of know this, right? Like I came from engineering. I have a chemical engineering degree. I am the worst paid chemical engineer maybe in the history of chemical engineers. And again, man, it's because I love this and I want this to be amazing. Plus, I don't want to let you guys down. I don't want to let our investor debt. I don't want this to just like disappear out of nowhere. But over the past 6 months, it is just like, I'd say since the new year, it is just like mentally just taken such a toll on me to the point where like it is very difficult. Even last night, the night before, like it's very difficult for me, even when things are good, to like I felt like I took a breath in like minutes. I'm like, oh my God, and I'll remind myself, or I'm just up at night and like I'm watching YouTube golf. That's great, but then it's like it gets to the point where I go to try to like sleep and I just can't stop thinking of FTS and everything that's going on and this trajectory and like what's not happening. And I just start to, my brain spirals. And then I look up and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? And I've been laying there for 2 hours plus. And it's just, that, whatever. I got okay at dealing with that, I guess. And that was fine, and I'm sort of trying to make plans for the next part of this, right? And to, whatever the next portion of this might be, because again, I'm not going to drop this obviously, but there is a legitimate chance that like very soon, it's not going to be sustainable anymore to where I'm going to have to take a step back from it, let it run a little more automatically. And I don't know what that looks like with regards to events and things like that. But I am almost like going to be entirely turning my focus to what's next and what is going to get us to that next step. And again, I want to reiterate, it's not going away. Like no matter what, even if it has to be Sims every day or whatever. And I know you guys won't be happy with that or whatever. But it will still be there, right? The Discord will be there for you guys to chat. And games will be going in whatever capacity they are. But going live, trying to act like, oh, everything's great and, do shows on Mondays and Fridays and whatever. It's so hard. And like, for the most part in the moment, like I can get, like it's all good. But like, dude, it's like I get done a stream and I just feel like, God, like Lauren's talking to me and I'm just like, I just feel sick because I just like every day I think something good's happening. I'm talking to this person, whatever. And then it just it feels like it goes down the drain. It's so infuriating. And I just feel like I can't breathe. And especially recently, like again, like you guys are great. And, I don't expect everyone to just support the game forever, especially when things aren't changing or whatever. But this is maybe the wake up call to, finally, I gotta stop doing so much and killing myself, especially to get yelled at because I'm not putting up pop-up. Like, I'm sorry, I can only do so much. Like, those pop-ups take 30 minutes to even put up anything. Like, it's just, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be, I want everyone to understand everything, right? And yeah, I know, I want John to do more too, but like, it's hard. I don't even care that he doesn't do more. If he tells me he's going to do something, I just want him to come through. And Lauren looks at me all the time and just goes, dude, like, he's not going to do. And I'm like, I know. And so all this is to kind of say like, I got to figure out what the next part of this is going to be, what that's going to look like for me with my full-time job, because this has been my full-time job now since 2018 when I lost my engineering job, right? And we've kind of just made it work because a lot of you guys and the support, it's been like crazy. And we had the initial investment, but like at this point, like we are at the point where we need the next step. So all that being said, it's cool to talk about it, right? Because I think I would rather you guys understand all of this too, or all of a sudden, I see people saying things, oh, he doesn't seem into it. It has nothing to do with being into it or what. It's all me just like trying to balance 1,000 things at once, worry about what's going on with us, be a dad, coach, be a husband, all this stuff, right? Like so much. And it's like, I go and I talk to people and I meet people and whatever, and they're like, oh, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I do this thing. It's really cool. And I love design and I blah, blah, blah. But it's almost like I'm like embarrassed to talk about it sometimes. You know what I mean? But I shouldn't be. Like, it's crazy. The fact that this is like ended, like this has been going on for this long is actually crazy. And again, it's you guys. It's the will to keep pushing, to keep changing, the fact that we have event pages and everything. Again, the game is at its best spot. I just think at this point, the best thing for the game and everyone involved, and especially me, because I have to figure out something, because I can't take it. It's bad. It's bad. I have to take, a sort of a mental break for myself for sure. And, but the biggest thing is I need time, because what I'm going to do now is I am just did you know Fanatics is the proprietor of who gets licensing? Did you know that? How insane is that? Right? Like, that is so wild to me. So anyway, the cool thing is I've been using Grok, asking a bunch of stuff, trying to get info on how, the next steps and the things that we want to take. And realistically, I mean, we've said it for years, just always thinking, no, we'll grow. It's finally to the point that, we got to make the push. So it's not going away. Things will be up in some capacity. But if I'm not always here, or you can't DM me, I get back to you immediately, or I'm not responding over the weekend in Discord, God forbid, I'm sorry. I have other things going on. I am going to be making a big push with this to Fanatics, to the NFLPA, whatever. I don't care at this point. We're just going to go. And there's so much good that can come from this. There's so much we can do with it, from the designs every month that could just be instant merch to whatever. Fanatics, like I said this years ago, that would be like the perfect partner. I didn't know that now they're just like the ruler of all things licensing, and they get to say who does what, and anyway. So yeah, man, I appreciate a lot of you guys. You've been reaching out to me, and just when things seem to get rough, you guys are always DMing and whatever. And I, for the most part, look, everybody, even if people get upset, for the most part, it's just because people love the game, and I love the game too. And I hate the stalemate. The fact that we cannot just, like, the fact that it's not the Rocket League of fantasy football, like I've said forever, where you can just log on, 1v1 somebody, just do a quick draft back and forth with your cards, and then watch the sim out, get your whatever. The fact that we're not doing that, we're not even close to that, is so frustrating. But at this point, it's like, it's got to be. So I'm going to be shifting focus primarily 75% to, what's going to be next. And again, man, like, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. We need the support to continue, because I need to be able to get through, by September. At this point, like, Baker's going off to kindergarten with Claire. Like, the whole reason why it all made sense, me being home, was because of the family stuff. Like, somebody needed to be there to take Baker, whatever. It's not going to be that as much. I gotta, I can only do it for so long. So it's just crazy how long I've been out of it. But again, man, I want this to be my full-time thing forever. Like, I love it. It's so cool. And dude, I just cannot believe, maybe the fact that nobody else is really doing it should tell me something. Maybe it's just not that cool, but I don't know. Like, it to me, it is. And the final thing, I want RTG. I want a draft mode. Like, that's what I think would be so fun. And I've been, the other thing, like, I think about, like, our server, we'll call it, right? This server, the amount of cards I have. I've made so many mistakes with how to set it up, how many trophies we give out, how many whiteouts everybody has. It's so oversaturated. Yes, we could use new people, and that would help a lot. But I also think something like having, like, a new server open every year with the start of a new year, that would be cool too. You could always play on your old server. You could start a new server. We could imagine, like, a hard mode server where you're a tier 3 sub and that's it. You get to play on the server. There's no packs, no nothing extra. It's just like, it's legitimately who wants whatever, right? Like, there's just so many fun things we can do, but we can't. It's never gonna happen the way it is currently, right? Like, it's just not going to. So anyway, and the other thing I wanted to say, right? I love you guys. You guys, so many of you guys. Sam especially, a million times. Collins does so much, and we joke he's CEO or whatever. Like, so many people want to help, try to help, and there's, like, I love you guys. There's only so much you guys can do, because the majority of what I have to do week to week, it's local stuff. It's switching rosters. It's building the week. It's all this stuff that isn't really delegatable, delegatable. Does that make any sense? It's not something that it's something where like I would want somebody around me in here to help out. And again, the only way we get to that point is by pushing and making it the next step. So again, like I love you guys. Unless something insane happens and somebody finds this and just all of a sudden, like, dude, I have no Facebook anymore. I can't find, you guys want to go out there and you want to try to push FTS or talk to mods in Facebook groups that have thousands of people, whatever. I can't if I can just get a hold of people and get in front of them and go, look at what we've done. Look what you can do. Look what you can earn. It should have been on its own, this big thing. But end of the day, man, I feel like we've been so unlucky with just like discoverability and I just kill myself making, you gotta have an Instagram because it can't look bad. Everyone, has to look good. Okay, so I have to do that, but nobody cares. Nobody looks at it. Nobody shares it. It's so hard. The amount of crap work that just has to happen in the background. And then I still have to like make it better, week to week. It's a 100-hour-a-week job, and I don't mind it, and I love it, but I cannot sit around and just watch it continue to just like go nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, and especially at this point, like financially, I gotta do something. You know what I mean? So you need programmers, 100%. I want to steer the ship. I want to be the leader of this thing. I legitimately think in 10 years this could be, as big as regular fantasy football, just because it's so cool and fun and just different. And again, man, like, yeah, everybody says the same thing. You guys all show up, and it's like the fact that people find this, love this, they're like, this is so up my alley. How does this not have more people? I know. The fact that we don't need 1 million people to be successful. If we had 500 users who were subscribed, whatever, it would be insane and nothing, I'd be more worried about getting shut down before anything. But like the fact of the matter is we are such like a startup still. And, I owe it to you guys, I owe it to me, I owe it to Lauren, I owe it to my aunt and everybody who involved or anybody who's sunk time to this or money or whatever. I owe it to them. Like, I always feel like, oh my God, am I not doing enough? And it's driving me crazy, making me sick. It's time to do it. It's time to push. It's time to go. And whatever happens at that point happens. So, anyway, I mean, look at this merch. How could you not buy? So, but yeah, man, I can't do it on my own. John is zero help. Whatever. He can see this or he knows it. Whatever. Again, I don't pretend like he should be here full time. But my God, like, if you say you're gonna do something, do something. It's so hard, man. So anyway, I feel like we've had a couple of these over the years where like, I got to come to everybody and go, hey, here, here's what's going on. But like legitimately, like it's been the scariest it's been ever in the past probably 6 months. And especially since like the turn of the new year, it's been mentally brutal. So with all that being said, I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. If I do, it will be, with things still running in some style sim, whatever. I don't know how a full-time job plus then trying to I legitimately, when we have a new event, I pour 40 hours into it from Friday to like Tuesday. It is every bit of all of my time for 5-6 days to get ready to get everything done. And I know, we'll just run crappier events, whatever. It's not how I'm not here to take steps back on that stuff. Okay. Like, that. So, more importantly, are we still getting hexes? Yeah. I know you're kidding, but it's the stuff like that like it is the most like that scares me the most. It's like, how long have we gone where I've not let us miss an event? Like I've done it. I've pushed so hard for so long to like keep it going. But there's just a point where it's like, man, like at least at this point, I look at it as like, well, season 11 finished, season 12 incoming. What season 12 looks like, I don't know. But again, as long as we have half decent months, it has to all be with the idea that we're making a push to the licensing part and to this being a bigger thing. Whether that also means there's a break in FTS, I don't know. As you know, we get more money in and more people in and build this thing the proper way to where there's support and whatever. I don't know, but something needs to be different, and I cannot be constantly hamstrung. Like, I am a perfectionist who likes to work fast, who, if I see stupid stuff like the fact that there's no X's and these and it's killing me right now, I see that stuff and I can't stop. And I like need to fix it immediately. You could be standing next to me. You could be Lauren telling me what dinner is or whatever. And I have to fix it. Or like, that is me. The fact that I've waited on John and just with no deadline or with no idea for weeks at a time, he won't, just nothing. I can't, like, I'm just like struggling. It's so brutal. So anyway, there you go. There's an hour on, all the, again, like it's not even F John, because he's put a lot of time and effort in as well. And he wants to see it succeed as much as I do, but the problem is I would never say, hey, I'll check in every Monday, and then literally never again even send a message. Like, it's just not me, I can't. So stop paying that clown until he hits deliverables. It doesn't even matter. It hasn't even been that. It's been, hey, here's money, we're good. We had money in August to do RTG and all this stuff. And it was like, okay, here's the amount I have set aside for these 2 months, 3 months of working. Okay. And then a month in, I'm like, hello. There's just no update, nothing. And then it's just like a ghosting. And it's not sustainable, man. It is. So anyway, there you go, boys. There you go. So it looks pretty. It is pretty. But yeah, man, that's where we are. But anyway, look, it's going to continue to some degree. But what it looks like, I can't really tell you guys right now. Please don't crying after stream. No, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. The good thing is, like, I think, and I know, like, Sam, you'll say this is not good. Is that I've gotten like very, very good throughout this entire project of compartmentalizing things, and I walk off, and this is why I can be checked out of main Discord working, but in baseball Discord talking about that, because I compartmentalize, I can worry about other things, I can take time and just be with the family, and I'm good to freaking go. I can't breathe. That's what the problem is, Sam. I cannot breathe. That's the problem. And it's just gotten to a bad point to where, like, I don't know. Maybe it's not bad. We gotta push for the next step. So anyway, feel free to DM me. Let me know what's up. Check in. I love all the messages, everybody. So many of you guys have reached out, which is cool. But again, man, you guys just deserve to understand, because there's so many of you guys that spend so much money, who tier 3, who do whatever, who just want to see it succeed. But I feel guilty every month that we're not getting better and more. And man, I just want to head you clowns and smoke you all and then play it in your face when it's all done. So there you go. There it is. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm out of here. If you guys want to, again, DM me and say what's up, do it to it, man. But again, we'll see what's up. We'll see how we end up. All right. Throw it up again. I love you guys. I'm out of here. FantasyTheShow.com. Ah! I'm out. I love you. I'm dead. Later, boys.